Pipe bomb! What's up, my Century Gatsy? It's the Central Man here. So, this is my review of Monday Night Raw for the 27th of June 2011. 10 years since CM Punk cut that pipe bomb promo. We'll get to the pipe bomb promo later on in this review, at the end of the review. This is the first Raw review on this channel. This is a classic Raw review, not the Raw you see right now. 3 hours long. So boring, same repetitive bullshit. No, this is a Raw from 10 years ago. In my opinion, Raw sucked when the whole Authority era began, in 2013. Those Raws in the early 2010s, granted they're not on the same level as the early Raws, because Raw started in 1993, the Attitude era Raws, or the Ruthless Aggression era Raws, but these Raws are watchable to watch compared to the Raw you see right now. This Raw was in Las Vegas, Nevada. Raw Roulette. I wish they bring these Raw Roulettes or Sin City Smackdowns. They used to do them, and also they don't do it anymore. They don't do any type of casino-themed shows, whether it's Raw Roulette or Sin City Smackdown, because every time they do these shows in Las Vegas, and they don't do it anymore. I don't get it. I just don't get it. And I don't. What's the last time WWE did like a casino themed pay-per-view? I don't think they've done a casino themed pay-per-view, because AEW did a casino themed pay-per-view called Double or Nothing. The old TNA does a casino themed pay-per-view called Against All Odds. Anyway, yeah, this Raw took place a few weeks before Money in the Bank 2011. I might review that show. We're very close on the 10-year anniversary of that pay-per-view. And also I need to review ECW One Night Stand 2006, because a couple weeks ago marks the 15th year anniversary of ECW One Night Stand 2006, and also ECW WWE, or ECW as a third brand. Another story for another time. Anyway, so this Raw kicked off with Shawn Michaels coming out. Remember this Raw, it's been 10 years, This is Shawn Michaels' first appearance on Raw since the Raw, I think it's the Raw before WrestleMania, with, this segment between Triple H and Undertaker before their match. I covered WrestleMania 27 on this channel months ago, and go and check it out. Yeah, he basically had Shawn confronting Taker because Taker retired Shawn Michaels at the previous year WrestleMania. That is WrestleMania 26. I covered that show last year. Go and check it out. Anyway, so he came out thanking the fans for, becoming the showstopper, the main event, his nicknames. I think he mentioned Mr. WrestleMania, and also Mr. Hall of Fame. The reason why he's saying that, because Shawn Michaels just got inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame 10 years ago. The night before WrestleMania 27. So, and also he kind of took a dig towards the he said he's not I'm tired of leaving. He said about like I never left or something like that. And he brings up like he's gonna be on an episode of a hunting show. I don't remember what's it called again. I don't know. It was way back in. It's very hard. It's been 10 years ago. So he said he's gonna be on an episode of on a show. I think it was on the USA Network. It's still on the USA Network. They've been on the USA Network since 2005. Anyway, so yeah. Guest host Raw. They're still in the middle of this era, the guest host Raw. They've been doing it since 2009. I think they stopped it in like 2012, 2013. They haven't done one ever since, thank God. I prefer watching these compared to the Raw you see right now. Anyway, so all of a sudden you got CM Punk and the New Nexus interrupt CM Punk and the WWE Tag Team Champions at the time. That is David Otunga and Michael McGillicuddy, the future Curtis Axel. Basically, Punk basically took a dig towards Shawn about not leaving, and Punk says, I'm leaving, because Punk won a number one contenders match to face John Cena at Money in the Bank. It'll be in Chicago, CM Punk's hometown, And yeah, he said he's gonna leave as the WWE champion. You know, it's sad. Like fans are begging on their knees for you, and not for you, champion. And yeah, Shawn Michaels said about the reason why they're cheering for me because I'm better than you. Punk says I was better than you. And he also says you and I are alike, and Michael says you are not alike but similar in styles, and then and Shawn Michaels super kick David Otunga. And by the way, no Mason Ryan. I remember Mason Ryan and the new Nexus. I think Michael Cole says Mason Ryan got hurt the previous weekend, so he came back months later. Get that mini feud with Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, it's a damn shame they failed to capitalize on the Mason Ryan push. I don't think it was that great, but I think it's a very strange push for Mason Ryan. He debuted in the beginning of 2011. Joined the new Nexus, and then all of a sudden, he got hurt. He came back. He thought he's going to be in the US title picture because at the time Dolph Ziggler was the United States champion. And then he got hurt. He got sent down to NXT, and then he got cut. It's a damn shame. Anyway, and then you got the Bulum, Jesus Christ, the Nominus Raw GM. You got Michael Cole came out of the announce desk, says, "Can I have my attention, please?" I can't. Yeah, Jesus Christ. I remember the Nominus Raw GM, and every time Michael Cole says, "Can I have my attention? Can I have my attention, please?" Not mine, but I got the email for the Nominus Raw GM. Jesus Christ. I know it's can I have attention, please? Sorry, I can't remember that much. I remember the Nominus Raw GM. That's got to be one of the worst storylines in modern day WWE. And Michael Cole, every time receive a email for the Nominus Raw GM, and the Nominus Raw GM kind of booked CM Punk in a match. And by the way, Booker T's the guy, charge of the Raw roulette wheel with the match stipulations on the wheel, gimmicks. I wish they bring back Raw roulette or Sin City if they're in Las Vegas, but I don't think it's going to happen. Anyway, so yeah, the Nominus Raw GM booked CM Punk in a match. And this match he's facing a mysterious opponent, and that mysterious opponent was Kane. And then Michael super kicked, Michael McGillicuddy, the future Curtis Axel, and he's on the mic, says good luck with that. And it's not the last time we see Shawn Michaels on the show. He left and he showed on another segment later on this show. So anyway, the first match on this Raw is CM Punk versus Kane. Match sucked. Kane had some offense, Punk had some offense. He had enough of Kane. I think Kane was going for the chokeslam. Punk laughed and walked out. And Kane won this match via a count out. This is stupid in my opinion. I'd rather have Punk getting the victory over Kane to build up momentum for John Cena at Money in the Bank. If Kane beats CM Punk on this show, that'd be fucking stupid. But at the same time, Kane was getting stale. Don't worry, he'll be Mass Kane at the end of the year. Kane won the first match on Raw by a count out. So the second match, we got Evan Bourne, the future Matt Sydal, taking on the first Sin Cara, the botchy Sin Cara. Yeah, the Sin Cara with the lights gone down every match. The lights gone down. Basically, it was like, I think it was orange lights. Every time the original Sin Cara in a match. I wish they ditched that. I don't know. People. I try to keep it mysterious, but I don't think it's worked. I know it's part of Sin Cara's gimmick at the time. Yeah, they dropped the ball on Sin Cara. What might have been? Yeah, it never panned out. The first Sin Cara and the second Sin Cara become Honico, the former Honico. Anyway, so yeah, this match between Bourne and Sin Cara, this was a good match. Lucha Libre style. They're both high flyers. They were chanting Power Ranger, and also they were chanting USA. I understand why, because Sin Cara's from Mexico, Evan Bourne's from America, and Sin Cara's not a he's not a heel, but he's a babyface. I don't think he turned heel in his run in WWE. Don't think so. Anyway, so yeah, he was trying to hit Evan Bourne. This was outside the ring, trying to hit Bourne with an Argentine backbreaker, but Bourne countered into a Hurricanrana. He kind of Hurricanrana Sin Cara onto, I think it was a barricade. Sin Cara hit Evan Bourne with a corkscrew. Yeah, it was a corkscrew moonsault, and then Bourne hit Sin Cara with a standing moonsault. In the end, he was going for air boom, shooting star press, but I'm guessing like Sin Cara got out of the way. He hit like this weird finisher. It's basically like a Hurricanrana face planter onto Bourne to win this match. And I think Sin Cara was still undefeated. The first person defeat the first Sin Cara was Christian, because they build up, Christian, he was facing Randy Orton at Money in the Bank in the middle of the feud between Christian and Randy Orton. That was one of the best feuds of 2011. The next match were Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler. Vicky Guerrero is banned from ringside. She did show up, introducing Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler, at the time, he had short blonde hair. Yeah, short bleached blonde hair. I think recently, like one time, he cut his hair and dyed his hair brown. That was weird, but yeah, he dyed his hair back to bleached blonde. And this show took place after Catapult Punishment. The pay-per-view in Washington, D.C. A show I covered in the past. I covered it last year. That is Catapult Punishment. That was it was an okay pay-per-view. It's the only one they did. I don't think they did more ever since. I don't know. I like that, the White House pay-per-view set. Anyway, so it was a good match. Don't get me wrong, between Kofi and Ziggler, but at the same time, it wasn't. I see better matches in the past between Kofi and Dolph. This is not their best, but at the same time, this was a good match. Like Kofi had some offense, and then Dolph half his heat. He kind of Irish whipped Kofi into the ring post. He hit Kofi with the Famouser. Yeah, some fans comparing Dolph Ziggler to badass Billy Gunn. I don't like the Dolph Ziggler right now because they make him as Shawn Michaels 2.0, because that is laughable, because Dolph Ziggler is not on the same level as a Shawn Michaels. But back then, in those 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, before the face turn, he was over. And at the time, he was the United States champion. I think he defeat. I thought that he defeats Kofi at Catapult Punishment, but unfortunately, I think he defeat Kofi on a Raw. I think it's called. They did like Raw called Raw All Stars, or I think it was Power to the People. It was the go home show to Catapult Punishment. Anyway, trying to keep this match short and simple. Anyway, in the end, Kofi got his combat, hit the he was about to get Dolph trying to Irish whip Kofi. Didn't happen. He kind of lay on the top rope. In the end, he hits Dolph with the tropical, what was it called? Trouble in Paradise, I'm trying to say. Yeah, he hits Dolph with the Trouble in Paradise to win this match. Really funny. Dolph had a great run as the United States champion. He had a run with the belt. I'm trying to say. Sorry, I'm kind of stumbling my words. I think it's the only reign he had. I don't think he won more United. He won it in 2017. So basically, he was a two-time United States champion. But back then in 2011, he had an underrated run. He had matches against Kofi Kingston, Alex Riley. He ended up dropping the belt to Zack Ryder at TLC 2011 at the end of the year. So the match was good, but I see better matches in the past and more in the future, because Kofi and Dolph had really good chemistry. And then we got this, you got the segment with Del Rio, Maurice, Booker T, because, by the way, this is, they're doing these rematches from Catapult Punishment, Kofi versus Dolph, Del Rio versus Big Show, and also John Cena versus R-Truth. Anyway, so, Del Rio got pissed off because, why he's in the match with the Big Show, and Maurice says, you know, you know, you're right. You beat him at Cannibal Punishment, whatever she says. Anyway, gonna face Big Show in a steel cage match. Yeah, move on to the steel cage match. Yeah, we got Alberto Del Rio versus Big Show, the Catapult Punishment rematch. Big Show was gloating. He gave Del Rio his wink because he's like no place to hide because he's in a steel cage. The steel cage match between Del Rio and Big Show, it wasn't okay. It was a standard steel cage match, nothing special. You had basically, Big Show, basically had the offense first, and then Del Rio targeting the injured leg of Big Show because this was the previous month, he got ran over, his leg got ran over by Del Rio's personal ring announcer, Ricardo Rodriguez, after losing the tag team championship to, he lost the tag team belts to David Otunga and Michael McGillicuddy of the New Nexus. Anyway, so this match is way better than that match at Catapult Punishment. That's not saying too much. And then you got Mark Henry. This was the middle of this rivalry between Big Show and Mark Henry because Big Show attacked him a couple weeks ago on SmackDown. This was middle of the feud between him and Del Rio. So Mark Henry managed to get in the cage. He ripped the cage door. Del Rio escaped the cage, beat the Big Show for the second time. The first one, he defeated the Big Show at Catapult Punishment. And then Mark Henry rammed the Big Show out of the cage. The other part of the cage broke off. He shouted, "You think you're bad?" And then you got the referees and the suits of ties, John Laurinaitis. And Mark Henry says, "What gonna do? Find me. I can do the hell I want." This was the middle of Mark Henry developing the Hall of Pain gimmick, Mark Henry's Hall of Pain, looking back 10 years ago, I think it was good, they give Mark Henry a push. I think they're trying to push him for years, but he always gets injured. And the funny that, in those two matches between Del Rio and Big Show, Mark Henry always interfered. He interfered in the first match at Catapult Punishment, and now he interfered in this match. So instead of, Big Show, Mark Henry match at Money in the Bank, the steel cage match, it was okay. Nothing special. It's just filling up the rivalry between Big Show and Mark Henry. The next match, we've got Kelly Kelly versus Nikki Bella. The previous week, you had Kelly Kelly defeated Nikki's sister Brie because at the time, Brie was the Divas champion. She defeated Brie for the championship. And I think this was the one and only time that Kelly Kelly become the Divas champion. She ended up dropping the belt to Beth Phoenix. That's another story for another time. And this match is a submission match. Look about 10 years ago. This is before Nikki had the big tits and banging John Cena. Both Nikki and B are identical. Right now, one's got big tits, one has small tits. The Bellas, I don't like the Bellas, but in reality, they're fucking hot, Anyway, why they made this a submission match? Why? I just don't get it. Because Kelly Kelly and Nikki Bella are not submission wrestlers. I don't want to get into it, so... Because back in 10 years ago, because the Divas matches, the more like piss break matches, compare from right now. The little bulks of the match, you had Nikki working on the injured, I don't say injured, but working on the arm of, Kelly Kelly. Kelly basically oversells, you got Nikki locking the armbar onto Kelly Kelly. In the end, Kelly Kelly locked in a Boston leg crab onto Nikki Bella. She taps out. And Kelly Kelly got the victory. Then you got Brie and Nikki beat down, the Bellas beat down Kelly Kelly. Then you got Eve came to the rescue, and that was it. And this is set up, Kelly Kelly versus Brie Bella at Money in the Bank. I don't want to get into it. I might review that match when I review Money in the Bank 2011. Then we got a segment with Andy Lavange. I think that's what his name is. He just won Tough Enough of that year, hosted by Stone Cold Steve Austin, and you got I remember that it was, what was it called? It was the Raw with, you had Steve Austin as the guest stars. They announced who's the winner of that Revive Tough Enough. This is before they start doing the Performance Center. You got Levon got slapped by Vince McMahon, and basically, Austin kind of give Levine with a Stone Cold Stunner. They kind of buried him, in my opinion. They talk about, how, because he's training. So far, he's sent down to FCW. This is like 1 year before the revived version of NXT. And it's a really shame how it's a damn shame he never, what might have been with Andy Levine in WWE. Because he won Tough Enough. He's set down to not NXT, FCW. And then you never see him ever again. He got cut the following year. I don't get it. That's the curse of Tough Enough. That's another future video for another time. But yeah, the dude won Tough Enough, and then you never see him ever again. Never appeared on Raw. Never appeared on SmackDown. FCW, and then he's gone. I don't get it. Then we got this segment, the next match, we've got a tag team match. We've got Miz and Jack Swagger taking on Rey Mysterio and Alex Riley. Rey spin the wheel, and the tag team match is a tornado tag team match. And then you got like Booker T and DDP hug it out. Your Booker T with his catchphrase. Tell me you not see that. Whatever his catchphrase is. I know his catchphrase, can you dig that sucker, and tell me I did not see that. And also you had DDP and Booker T hug, and DDP basically producing, promoting the WCW DVD at the time, the WCW Nitro DVD. Man, I was looking forward to getting that DVD. This is 3 years before the network. But it looks good, that DVD. I might find it one day and promote it, on my channel. I'm trying to find I'll probably find it in my local DVD shop, computer game shop. I might find it, it looks good. Because, they were producing DVDs, because you can't, I don't think they do it anymore because they got the network. Anyway, and then you got Drew McIntyre. Kind of took a dig towards Booker T and DDP because you're hugging TV time. You got 10 minutes to leave, or 10 seconds to leave because you're going to end up in stretchers. And then you got super kicked by Shawn Michaels. He was kind of like a punching bag, a joke at this moment of time. It's very funny, like, compared 10 years ago and right now, because Drew is, a main event player, 2-time WWE champion, and then Shawn basically, had a look at the WCW DVD. He said about, like, he's not burying it, he's just saying, be honest, I haven't saw it yet. And that was it. And then, the next match we got, Miz, Jack Swagger taking on Rey Mysterio and Alex Riley in a tornado tag team match. To be honest, this was a fun match to watch. It's more focused on, basically Miz and Swagger beating down Rey more than Alex Riley. Riley mostly was out of the ring the whole time. The babyface got the win back, got their fight back. In the end, you had Swagger locking the ankle lock onto Rey and Miz, basically locking the guillotine on the other side. He was near the ropes, and then Alex Riley kind of dropped Miz face first onto the ring apron, and then he kind of like face plant Miz onto the barricade. Rey was going for the 619 attempt, and Alex Riley hit he hit Swagger with a drop kick. Rey hit the 619. Alex Riley hit he hits like Edge's jumping DDT. Yeah, it was a jumping DDT. His finisher. I don't think it was his finisher. And then Rey hit move off the top rope to win this match. And Rey and Alex Riley got the victory. Wow, they dropped the ball on Alex Riley, man. What might have been, it has to do with injuries, and also he got buried by John Cena. Wow, they just dropped the ball on Alex Riley, I think I don't think he'll be a world champion, but they didn't do nothing with him. He didn't do much, he got injured. He was a jobber, and then he was down in NXT, commentator, and he's feuding with Kevin Owens, and then he was gone. Damn shame. Anyway, so you got R-Truth, Booker T and R-Truth at this middle time. R-Truth is doing the little Jimmy gimmick. I I I said in my review of Catapult Punishment, I just don't like it. I prefer R-Truth at this hip hop gimmick, the heel rapper gimmick. It's a damn shame, but it's just what it is. So yeah, yeah, he's doing talking to himself, and Booker T says, can you do someplace else? It's scaring me. And he said like John Cena's gonna get got. Yeah. Moving on to the main event. The main event we got John Cena versus R-Truth. This is a tables match. This is way better than their match at Catapult Punishment. John Cena and R-Truth, they had a lot of matches in 2011. Catapult Punishment, a few Raws, the Survivor Series tag team match, at Madison Square Garden between Oz and Truth, John Cena and The Rock, never before, never again. I might review that show in the future. Anyway, Cena was about to hit R-Truth with the AA, put him through a table, and then Punk removed the table, did the "You Can't See Me" taunt. Cena was going after CM Punk. Truth kind of spared. Yeah, he's trying to hit, Punk with the AA, and then Punk got out of the way. Truth spears Cena through the table to win this match. I understand why. It's just basically Truth getting his win back. Oh boy, can't wait to talk about the Pipe Bomb promo. People talk about this Raw 10 years today. So Punk grabbed the mic. He says to John, I don't really hate you, but the only thing I really hate of you is thinking you're the best. Clearly you're not. I'm the best. I've been the best since day one. The only thing you're the best at is kissing Vince McMahon's ass. He name dropped Hulk Hogan. You kiss more ass than Hulk Hogan, because Hogan was on very bad terms with WWE. He was at TNA at the time. He name dropped Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. He said, I'm a Paul Heyman guy. And also he called The Rock. He didn't say The Rock, he says Dwayne. And he called Dwayne, he's an ass kisser, always has, breaking the fourth wall. Did a wave towards Dwayne. And yeah, he says, the difference between me and Brock, I'm leaving with the WWE Championship. And he said about like grabbing Vince McMahon's imaginary brass rings. He said about like, I'm not on movies, I'm not in, Collector Cups, Face of the Collector Cups. I'm not on the cover of programs. I'm not on the poster, or not in the main event of WrestleMania 28. The reason why, Dwayne's in the main event of next year's WrestleMania, I'm not, makes me sick. And also, he went on a tirade towards the fans. You're the reason I'm leaving. He called the fans douchebags. And it's funny that, the first time I saw this episode of Raw, they kind of, not bleeped it out, kind of silenced, when Punk says douchebags. Because he said, like, Vince should be a billionaire. The reason why he's not a billionaire, because he's surrounded with, nonsensical douchebag yes-men. And, like, John Laurinaitis, because this is the point, this is before he was the character, John Laurinaitis, people power, Jesus fucking Christ. I'm not going to talk about these Raws from 2012. Jesus fucking Christ. I hate John Laurinaitis, man. So, anyway, he said, maybe this company's better off when Vince McMahon's dead. It's going to be run by his idiot daughter and his doofus son-in-law. Kind of, not really, kind of referencing, Stephanie McMahon and Triple H and, their stupid family. And also, he's about to say, do you want me to hear a personal story about Vince McMahon? And the microphone kind of cut off. And also, he name dropped New Japan and Ring of Honor, says, maybe I will defend the WWE title in New Japan, Ring of Honor. And he also says, hi, Colt Cabana, because Colt Cabana was in WWE, he was in the, in, what's it called, OVW, or I think it's before FCW. I think he was in FCW. The old development territory before NXT, and then he got cut. He kind of bring up Colt Cabana's name, and also you bring up Luke Gallows' name. This was the Raw before Money in the Bank. Anyway, so the mic kind of cut off. When Punk's saying that, I thought that was scripted, but it wasn't. He's saying from the heart. He said like he's not on, on the face of on cups, and he's not on posters. He said he's not on Jimmy Fallon and Conan O'Brien. I'm the best in the world. Said I'm the best in the ring, on this mic, maybe on commentary, because he was a commentator before. Become the leader of the new Nexus, and yeah, it's like holy shit. I said to myself, I can't wait for Money in the Bank, and he got suspended. Del Rio won another no one contenders match to face John Cena. When they announced Del Rio becoming the number one contender for John Cena at Money in the Bank, I said to myself, who wants to see that? Because people want to see John Cena, CM Punk. Because, I'll say it again when I reviewed Money in the Bank 2011. So, yeah, that was a good promo for CM Punk. Kind of really put him on the map, because he said I was villainized and hated since day one. Paul Heyman saying into me, then no one would ever predict. Because it's kind of true. Because I think like he was kind of over when he was doing the Straight Edge Society, and also becoming the Straight Edge champion. In that feud with Jeff Hardy in 2009. So yeah, go and check it out. My final rating for this Raw Roulette on the Raw for the 27th of June 2011. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I said 7.5 out of 10, but I give it 7 out of 10. If without this pipe bomb promo, I think this Raw will be okay. I'll probably give it a 6 out of 10, but people more talk about the pipe bomb promo than other things on Raw. Like, you have some fun matches. Evan Bourne versus Sin Cara, Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler, and CM Punk's pipe bomb promo. That's in the good. The only thing, in the okay were Big Show and Del Rio. It was nothing special. It's just basically furthering up the rivalry between Big Show and Mark Henry. The only thing in the bad has to be the opener, CM Punk versus Kane, Kelly versus Nikki Bella, and the main event between John Cena versus R-Truth. Besides that, and also the Tornado Tag Team match. I forgot. I put it also in the good. Miz Swagger versus Mysterio and Alex Riley. So I hope you enjoyed my review of Raw for the 27th of June 2011. I might review some classic Raws in the future, because I'm going back. I'm planning to bring back the Monday Nitro reviews. Haven't reviewed Nitro in months, so that'll be maybe in August or September. Anyway, so hope you enjoyed my review of Raw for the 27th of June 2011. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. What's your thoughts on the pipe bomb promo? Click the like. Subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube for more wrestling videos, Marvel videos, and more. And this is the Central Man officially signing out. Check you later.